The arena dust settled like rust-colored snow across the training grounds of Clan Stonepelt. Rava Stonepelt, chieftain of the Northern Territories, stood at the observation platform with his arms crossed over his massive chest. His fur, the color of storm clouds over granite mountains, bristled slightly as he watched the human female move through the combat course below. She was small. Laughably so. Among his people, the Kravir, even their youngest warriors, stood 8 feet tall, with claws that could rend steel. This human barely reached 6 feet, her frame slender and seemingly fragile beneath the training armor she wore. Yet for 3 cycles of the moon, she had requested no, demanded access to their warrior pits. Alpha Rava, Kirin Longfang approached from behind, his golden eyes gleaming with curiosity. The young warrior was Rava's finest student, destined to lead his own clan someday. The human persists. She does. Rava rumbled, his deep voice carrying the weight of stones grinding together. Below, the human she had given her name as Commander Sarah Chen faced off against a combat drone programmed with Kravir fighting patterns. The machine lunged with claws extended, a perfect mimicry of their species' killing strike. The human didn't retreat. Instead, she stepped inside the attack's arc, her movements precise and economical. Her fist connected with the drone's sensor cluster, and she used its momentum to throw it over her shoulder. The machine crashed into the wall with a metallic shriek. Kirin's ears flattened against his skull in surprise. She fights like she has no fear of death, Rava finished. I have noticed. Around the arena's edge, a group of cubs had gathered, their young faces pressed against the barrier mesh. They should have been in their learning dens, but Rava allowed them to stay. There were lessons here that went beyond what any teacher could provide. The human reset her stance. Another drone emerged from the holding bay, then another. 3 opponents now, all programmed to kill. The cubs' whispers fell silent. Sarah Chen moved like water, finding paths through stone. She ducked, rolled, struck with her elbows and knees, using every part of her body as a weapon. When one drone grabbed her arm, she didn't pull away, she moved closer, using leverage and joint locks that made the machine's grip meaningless. The Kravir fighting style relied on overwhelming strength and ferocity. This human fought with something else entirely: adaptation and relentless calculation. 1 drone fell. Then the second. The third managed to score a hit across her ribs that would have gutted a lesser being. She grunted, stumbled, but didn't fall. Instead, she grabbed the drone's extended limb and used a move Rava had never seen before. She climbed the machine like it was a tree, wrapped her legs around its sensor array, and wrenched with her entire body weight. Something inside the drone's neck joint snapped, and it collapsed. The human stood alone in the arena, breathing hard, blood seeping through her armor. She didn't celebrate. She simply walked to the weapons rack and began cleaning the training blade she'd dropped during the fight. Why is she alpha wearing human skin? The small voice came from the youngest cub, barely old enough to form complex sentences. The question hung in the air, like morning mist. Kirin looked at Rava, waiting for the chieftain's response. The other cubs turned their attention upward, their eyes wide with innocent curiosity. Rava descended the platform stairs, his massive form moving with surprising grace. He entered the arena floor, and the human turned to face him. Up close, he could see the damage-broken blood vessels in her eyes, bruises blooming across her jaw. The way she favored her left side. Yet she stood straight, meeting his gaze without flinching. You fight well for one so small, Rava said in the human tongue, which he had learned during the treaty negotiations. I fight to survive, Sarah Chen replied. Same as anyone. The cubs ask why you persist, why you come here, day after day, to be broken against our training methods. A smile crossed her battered face, fierce and sharp. Because in 6 months, the Xarthul horde will reach human space. Your people have fought them for generations. You know how to survive against them. We don't. So I'm here to learn. Rava tilted his head, studying her. The Xarthul were a plague upon the galaxy. consuming everything in their path. The Kravir had learned to fight them through blood and necessity, losing countless warriors to discover their enemies' weaknesses. One human cannot learn what took us centuries of death to understand, Rava said. No, Sarah Chen agreed. But one human can learn enough to teach others. I have 3,000 soldiers waiting for my report. They'll teach 30,000 more. And those will teach millions. She straightened despite her injuries. You fight alone, each clan defending its own territory. Humans fight together. We share everything: knowledge, tactics, pain. It's how we've survived every threat we've ever faced. The arena had gone completely silent. Even the cubs stopped their fidgeting. Rava understood then. This wasn't about individual strength. The human wasn't trying to become Kravir. She was gathering seeds of knowledge to plant in human soil, where they would grow into something entirely new. The cub asked why you are alpha wearing human skin, Rava said slowly. The answer is, you are not alpha in our way. You are alpha in yours. He turned to face the cubs, his voice carrying across the arena. She does not have our claws, our fangs, our strength, but she has something we have forgotten: the willingness to endure any pain to protect her pack. Not for glory, not for honor, for survival. Kiran approached, offering Sarah Chen a healing pack from his belt. She accepted it with a nod of gratitude. Tomorrow, Rava announced, you will train with Kiran Longfang. He will teach you the rendering strike. It is our most sacred technique. Sarah Chen's eyes widened. Alpha Rava, that's a great honor. It is necessity, Rava corrected. If the Exar Thul are coming for your people, then they will eventually come for mine again. Better to have allies who know how to fight. He showed his fangs in what might have been a smile. Besides, the cubs are watching. They should learn that strength takes many forms. As Sarah Chen bowed and limped toward the medical station, the smallest cub spoke again. When I grow up, I want to be strong like the human alpha. Rava watched her go. This small, determined creature, who had somehow earned the respect of warriors twice her size. Perhaps humans were more like the Kravir than he had thought, not in body, but in spirit. Both species understood that survival required sacrifice, and that true strength wasn't about avoiding pain, but about standing back up afterward. Tomorrow, we train harder, Rava called out. All of you. The humans have reminded us what it means to be warriors. The cubs howled their approval. And in the sound, Rava heard the future, one where humans and Kravir might stand together against the darkness.